How to become an art collector on a budget. Let's collect art for profit and fun. Make millions collecting art on a budget. Now, how to collect art for profit. You love art and admire the mysterious art scene. You would love learning how to become a collector and maybe make some financial profits. It's not just some lottery, but with some simple efforts, you can become a collector and make some money doing this. Let's talk about how it is best done from the vantage point of my being a gallery owner and an artist who has been involved with this for many, many decades. This process is complicated, but it is a fun journey which will show you some proven techniques and also have some fun learning about this mysterious and unregulated market. I will explain some of the pitfalls and successes, which will give you some insights how to succeed and have some fun collecting art. One of the first things you need to do is have some money to invest into this project. You have to think of an annual budget, not just a monthly budget. Some months you will see no opportunities, and sometimes there will be everywhere. The first year will be a period where you learn how the industry works, and then you begin to make some buys that will result in some long term gains. You must think that this process is no fast method to make easy profits, but more importantly, you will invest and eventually gain substantial success. The first thing to know is that you must go to an art market. Most big cities have a few successful art galleries, but it is easier if you go to some of the biggest art markets and start there. New York, LA, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Dallas, or Chicago are typical art markets, but many other bigger cities have galleries. So pick one you enjoy visiting. Personally, I've always enjoyed Santa Fe. It is a large number of galleries and it is a fun place to visit most any time of the year. Santa Fe is quirky, eccentric, and full of artists. There are many great restaurants and some 200 plus galleries. The climate is comfortable, and motel rates are easier on the budget than some of the bigger cities. The most expensive times are midsummer when they have numerous tourist events, but the spring and late fall are much easier on the wallet. The best part of Santa Fe is that the galleries are clustered around three major areas, with many galleries along some row, making it easier to find many opportunities. In Santa Fe, they are downtown, the rail yard, and Canyon Road. In many big cities, galleries are spread out, requiring driving to many different locations. In New York, for example, there is a gallery area in Soho and another area of higher end galleries in Chelsea and on 57th Street. There are probably some 2,000 galleries in New York, but the concentration of galleries is better, in my opinion, in Santa Fe. Most other bigger cities have a gallery area and frequent First Friday art walks. If those markets appeal to you, then go there. However, Santa Fe is a fun place to get started in a genuine art market. Well, enough about Santa Fe. Whether you choose Miami, Seattle, LA, or Chicago, or any other big art market in the United States, or even any other country, the process here will be about the same. You want to become a collector of fine art, and you want to end up making success out of this effort. Get organized. You need to begin by going to art galleries and gathering information. At first, it will be all a blur. Why does this one painting sell for several hundred and the next one is much, much more? The answer is that probably the more expensive piece is by an artist who has sold well, and there is some market demand for that work. Some galleries only sell secondary work or work that has been collected by many people before and it is now back on the market. Then there are the emerging artist work galleries. A gallery will try out some new artist and try to establish a market. Sometimes it works, and then again, sometimes the artist does not sell well and is sent along to another venue like the local art fairs or another gallery. There are also a few co op galleries where the group of artists share the expenses of operating the gallery in hopes of selling. Naturally, the most successful artists stay in a co op, and the prices usually reflect this. You begin by attending a few openings. Let's talk about how to attend, what to say, what not to say, how to keep track of the information you will gain, how often to go to these openings, and how to begin to research which artists to collect. You first take a stroll through the gallery area on a weekday and begin to familiarize yourself with the area. You will meet some interesting gallery people and artwork. You might meet some gallery employees who are too busy or poorly trained to make a positive impression on you. Look at the work, grab a business card if possible, and go on to the next one. If they treat you with indifference, make a note on the card with the plus sign of a negative mark. If you met a salesperson who was friendly, note their name, if not on the card, with a plus sign. If you meet a gallery person, representative, who was polite and interesting, do not act like you're ready to buy, but that you're just surveying the local market. It's okay to tell them that you like to collect art, but are not buying today. Ask that person which artists they sell the most. They will probably direct you over to that work and say some positive things about the artist. Note the pricing. After some more polite conversation, you might ask them who owns the gallery, and they might actually mention the owner's name or names. Thank them and change the subject back to the work. Then politely excuse yourself and ask them if they have any openings soon. It also helps if you leave them a business card showing your contact information and that you would like to be on their mailing list. How did they treat you? Did they act interested or did they just say, if you have any questions, just ask, and then go back to their computer screen to play some video game? You look over their display and see some pieces which intrigue you. Look at the artist's names, and write them down on a card and note it down in your file from their website. Go wander over to the next gallery and begin anew. After you visit as many galleries as you desire, you can go home and enter your gathered information. You open your file. Your file? Yes. You need to make a file called Collected Art and a subfolder in any gallery you become interested in. Just make a Word document page and chronologically enter the latest information you gain. The collected art file, you put underneath it, XYZ gallery, and then maybe a note on that Word document that you store in that subfile. Opening September 23rd, 1928. Met gallery representative John Jones. Went to gallery website. Then maybe you add another note. Like Mary Meyer's work, 24 by 35 piece, Lone Tree, $3,000. Went to her website. That way, you're gathering information so you don't forget it. You do this numerous times and even attend a few gallery openings where you meet numerous gallery reps and maybe even the owners and the artist. If you meet the artist, pay particular attention to how they appear. Many artists come off as wild characters, and some might come off as just regular people. It is their art that you're interested in, and make no judgment calls on how they appear. Artists are a different group and tend to not fall into any regular definitions. Accept the fact that their work is what you might want to collect. Owners, important that you make the effort to introduce yourself if possible. Explain you've been in before, if you have, and compliment them on how the gallery looks. Most will dismiss you and not take much attention in you at an opening unless you are actually acting like a buyer with your credit card out. If the owner or owners act like they might be interested in you, hand them a business card. What should the business card look like? Make it real simple. Make it a white card with just your name on it, your email address, and nothing else on a plain card. No address might indicate you have numerous homes. No description of what you do might signal that you are a wealthy investor. No colored background or picture on the card shows you are all business and nothing more. If they ask you what you do for a living, just say you are an investor. You are an investor in trying to invest in art. Let them guess who you are, as they will remember that. After attending a few openings in the gallery area, you will have a feel for what work intrigues you. Seeing a variety of art will begin to teach you about what you need to find. Should you find a gallery opening where there are few people attending, notice how many red dots you see. Some galleries sprinkle red dots all over to make potential buyers think the work is hot and selling. It is an old trick. The next gallery might not have any red dots and have a few more people in attendance, I've noticed. However, notice if there is activity with people actually buying the art. Use your gut to follow the success of the gallery. Now, back at your computer, add the new information to the various subfiles. Which artists did you like and which artists looked like they were ascending in importance? Go to their websites, go to the social media sites. Are they serious and appear legitimate, or are they just starting out hoping to snare some naive buyers? It takes all kinds. So now, after a few months of gallery hopping, you begin to see several artists who appear that they are on the ride upwards. Email them and even add your name to the registration list. Call them up on the phone and ask them if you can come visit their studio. You schedule a studio visit. The artists will gladly let you come over and see what they're up to. Tell them about yourself and prepare some good questions in advance. 1. Did you go to art school and where? 2. How did you get interested in making art? 3. Do you have any other side gigs to support your art? 4. Do you show anywhere else? Then take some interest in some of their prints or drawings. They will show you a drawing or two and act interested. Offer a modest amount for, say, one drawing. Let's say $100, and pull out cash. That will always get the artist excited. Then ask about a particular new piece they're working on and when it will be finished. Now that you have their attention, tell them that you like the work and might want to bring back another collector to see their work. Then send the artist an email thanking his or her attention and mention you would like to schedule another visit with your fellow collector. Visit the artist again and bring along a friend if possible. Try to develop a good relationship with the artist. Maybe even offer to take him out to lunch. Whether you try to buy a painting or not, concentrating on getting to know the artist because he or she might tip you off on other artists you might want to collect. It always pays to be friendly. Continue this process in getting to know artists and gallery people. Ask who is hot and who's not. You will hear tidbits about other galleries that might be interesting, morsels of news. Being chained to their gallery every day, the other galleries probably do not get around to the other galleries as much as you are now doing. Stay positive. Never degrade another gallery's efforts or other artists. Honey always attracts more flies than vinegar. Keep looking and adding information to your files. Keep all the business cards in a nice stack. Go back to the gallery websites to see if any new openings are coming up. Check out their social media posts. Okay, this process will definitely allow you to get to know how the art scene works. You will meet some new friends, and especially you will learn about the artists you enjoy. Keep going. The more people you know, the stronger you become. So you find some work that looks promising. You see a good track record from the artist, and others talk about the artist's success. Buy a piece. You have really begun. Now think about how to store the piece. Just sticking it under the bed doesn't work. If they give it to you in a nice box, label the box with the date and other relevant information, artist name, title, price paid, etc. As you accumulate more work, you will see the value in good storage techniques. If you hang the piece in your home, make sure it's stable. Never risk a nail in sheetrock will survive a bump in the space. Try double row of screws and a few inches apart. This makes the piece stay level better. So after a year or so, you take stock. You've bought 3 or 4 pieces from different sources and are meeting many new friends. You look at your budget and decide how you want to increase it or lower it. Slowly, over a few years, you will build a body of work. Some things to think about. One, sculpture is generally heavy and expensive to move if very large. You can fall in love with sculpture and it's a great source of art, but just know it's hard to move it and it's heavy. Number two, prints and drawings need to be laid flat. A flat file cabinet is easy to get. A nice one can cost you upwards to $1,500. But shop around. Wherever you end up placing it, make sure it is off the floor in case of any flooding or damage. Keep them flat. Number three, be careful moving canvases. They can tear easily if bumped into some sharp corner, and with damage, they might become worthless. Properly repairing a rip or tear in a canvas can get very expensive from a restorer. Five, digital prints are tricky. The artwork is stored on some computer. If the artist or gallery wants more in particular, they'll just get them printed. Some artists may number them or number the edition. 34 out of 200 is an example. If it is a digital piece, what prevents the edition to grow past the size stated? Be a bit cautious about digital prints of any painting that you admire. The painting will increase in value if the artist ascends to a higher price realm. The digital print will probably not, no matter how much less it is than the original work. Silk screen or lithograph prints are better. Generally, a lithoprint can only be made in some number of pressings before the stone is cleaned off for the next piece to be made. Silk screen prints are the same way. Rarely will there be more than a few hundred of each. All prints need to be signed by the artist. Should you purchase a litho or a silk screen print and later discover it is really a digital, they have defrauded you and you should be entitled to a refund. Be careful. Prints can become problematic compared to paintings or even sculpture. So now look over the few years of collecting. You have some nice pieces with your hard work learning which works should increase in value. You need to stay abreast of the market. If purchased from a gallery, go back and inquire about the current values. If the artist is really appreciated, the gallery might ask you to even sell it back to them or perhaps use it as a trade for another more popular work. Trading is a very easy way to move up values. This art collecting business is really not very hard. You'll get to know some interesting people, and you'll become part of a great unregulated market. Art is much easier to hold on to than vintage cars or expensive antiques. Vintage cars need maintenance, new batteries, gasoline, oil changes, hard to find parts. Antiques can break easy. Kept properly, a painting can last for centuries. Eventually, with careful purchases, you will inevitably find some work that will indeed appreciate in value. Imagine buying a Warhol original painting in the 60s for $5,000 and seeing it today worth many millions. Slowly you will learn, and slowly you will enjoy it more and more. As a gallery owner and a painter myself, I have enjoyed this business more than most other parts of my life. Will I ever become wealthy from this endeavor? It's not about the money, but more importantly, it's about the fun. Yes, I've met some terribly interesting people and have seen my share of successes and failures in this business. But I do proclaim that it still excites me every time I see a new artist and some new work, unknown before to me, and become dazzled by the work. You have to get lucky? No. You have to work hard and organized, and you will find your own good luck. Thanks for listening to this. My name is Preston McCall. Once again, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you. One final note: local art fairs are a great way to introduce you to some artists and some less expensive art. There are many, many opportunities out there to become acquainted to this dynamic business. Should you have any questions, feel free to comment me, and I'll be glad to help out in any way I can. Thanks a lot, and once again, I'm Preston McCall.